Who's going to the playoffs and who will end this year as district champs? That is not the case in 5A Division II District 13. Weiss is in position to do something that rarely happens, go from worst to first. A season ago, the Wolves went 0-10. A win over Brenham tonight would cap off a 9-1 season and give them the program's first outright district championship.
District title on the line. You know, it's an outright district title, first in school history. So there's a lot on the line, you know, for us. It's an exciting week. It's somewhere our school's never been before in our short history, and we're here now for the first time, and just generates a lot of excitement in the community and for our kids. The biggest challenge with Brenham is, I mean, you're talking about a storied program. Number one, you know, always a lot of talent on that football team. They're a very big football team. They like to push people around a little bit, so we'll be a little bit undersized in this game. That's probably the biggest concern. But again, our kids play with a lot of passion. They really fly to the football defensively, and I think that might be the equalizer for us Friday night.
Or the wait for that game is over. Brenham and Weiss begin tonight with a military coin toss. Then the Cubs march down the field with military precision. Brenham's Daylon McCowan capped off a 10-minute scoring drive. Weiss didn't waste any time responding. On the very next drive, Jaden Askew took the inside zone 45 yards into Brenham territory. The stiff arm right there at the end added about 10 yards to that gain. Moments later, Tavion Cord rolled out to the right, then lobbed up a designed throwback to DeMarcus Martinez. The game was tied at 7 at the break, but Brenham came alive in the second half and wins by 17 in the end. These two teams split the district crown. Cedar Park entered tonight with a perfect 5-0 district record. They lined up against Manor and showed us early on that the running game was to thank for that perfect district record. A couple of big runs set up an opportunity deep in the red zone. Ryder Hernandez with an off-balance jump pass going to his right to gunner Absek. Ryder to Gunner, two cool first names, and those guys connected on another touchdown later in the first quarter. Cedar Park wins this one 49-24. To the scoreboard for the first time tonight, a couple of 6A scores coming your way. McNeil falls to Hendrickson 35-14. The Rattlers from San Marcos are up on Canyon. They lead 27-22 in the fourth quarter. Seguin and LBJ are battling for second place in that district, and it looks like the Jags will earn that number 2 seed going to the postseason. If you're wondering who the number 1 team in that district is, well, just look towards the bottom of your screen. Dripping Springs pulled off the 40-0 shutout tonight. That wrapped up an undefeated conference schedule. Staying in 25-6A, the pregame message to Cedar Ridge could have gone like this. Okay, guys, I want you to win, but if you're going to lose, be sure to lose close. A loss to Westwood would force a 3-way tie, but that tie would be broken by point differential, meaning a win or even a loss by 7 or fewer points, and the Raiders are in the playoffs. But if they got blown out, they'd be out. Speaking of out, Deuce Vaughn was out of the blocks, out of the gate, and out of the defender's grasp on this play. It was a 51-yard sprint to the end zone for the Raiders running back, and it was his second 50-yard play of the game. But not to be outdone, Warriors QB RJ Martinez took off on his own impressive touchdown run. RJ called his own number, and 15 yards later, well, he tied the game. But that meant Cedar Ridge got the ball back, and this is what we have seen all season long. Deuce Vaughn with yet another 50-yard touchdown. At the end of the first quarter, he had over 150 total yards and 3 touchdowns. Vaughn and the Raiders are on to the playoffs. They win this one 77-69. Vandergrift entered the evening with a chance to wrap up a second straight undefeated regular season. The only thing standing in their way was Stony Point. But apparently a second year of perfection sounded good to that man, Bo Dawson. The sophomore found the end zone to put the Vipers up 20-10. Now, all season long, Vandergrift had been known for its defense. As you can see, that did not change tonight. Caleb Lewis came down with the interception. Stony Point scored late, but it did not change the outcome. Vandergrift wins this one 20-17, and both of those teams are on to the postseason. We caught up with Vandergrift head coach Drew Sanders after the game.
No, I just feel really blessed, to think back, really getting 100 wins, to think back a little bit, being at Vandergrift now for, it's my 11th year, and to, build it from a JV to, where we finished 10-0 2 years in a row. I'm just feeling really thankful for the kids that have placed their trust in me and my coaching staff, and parents that have supported us from the very beginning when we were JV. And I don't know, it's kind of an overwhelming feeling that I didn't think I would have at all. But it's just it was a hard-fought win over a good team.
Does that kind of make it a little more worthwhile?
And that was really fun, too. And I don't know, I just feel loved by my team, which is a cool feeling.
Just feels loved by the team. Like to hear that. To 5A District 13, Marble Falls topped Cedar Creek by a touchdown. The Mustangs finished the season with 2 wins, and they finished on a high note. And Bastrop topped Glenn. There's an upset for you. The Bears win 26-14. They'll tie for 4th in that district, but a tiebreaker will keep them out of the postseason. Check this next one out. A couple of high-scoring finals here. Lockhart topped Uvalde 45-41, and Lampasas keeps on rolling. The Badgers win 47-35 over Fredericksburg. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. One of the coolest traditions in town took place before the Lake Travis Anderson game. Brothers Raleigh, Wesley, and Benjamin all took the field for the Cavaliers for a pre-game coin toss. This happens once a year and is an incredible way that the team allows Benjamin, who has autism, to see the field from his brother's perspective. This family story is a memorable one, and it's one that you can see by checking out my friend Emily Giangreco's Twitter page at Emily Giangreco. Lake Travis won that coin toss, and then take a look at that. The first score of the game came from our old friend Wesley Irwin. His 18-yard run put the Cavs up 7-zip. The Trojans defense responded. 3 minutes later, Sincere Turner dropped back in his zone, kept his eyes on the quarterback, got a gift that he turned into 6 points. But the game wouldn't stay tied for long. A 54-yard catch and run from Cade Bortles set up Wesley Irwin's second score of the game. The Cavs get the win, 49-14. Staying in 25-6A, Hayes hosted Del Valle at Sheldon Stadium, and the guys from Hayes, well, they like to roll the dice at home. They go for it on 4th and 7, and you know how they say scared money don't make money? Well, this 40-yard catch proves Hayes ain't scared. Xavier Green capped off that drive with a 2-yard touchdown run, but Del Valle answered right back. Caleb Burton is one of the best sophomores in the nation. This kid has offers from UT, Oklahoma, LSU, Arkansas, and he also has a touchdown catch. The game was tied at 7 then. Wow, a lot more scoring happened after our cameras left there. Hayes grabs the win, 56-42. You guys ready for more scores? Good, because we've got them. Burnett topped Taylor. The Ducks fall tonight, 36-14. And Liberty Hill beat Canyon Lake 31-7. But the chips just didn't fall in their favor. After a great run in 2018, the Panthers will miss the playoffs this season. Some more 4A action here. The Buffaloes out of Giddings beat LaGrange. Final score 56-21. And Cuero beat Wimberley 34-28. Back to the highlights, and it's been a turnaround season for Lago Vista. They opened 2019 6-3, which is a lot better than their 2-9 record last year. They knew they'd be in the playoffs, but they had a chance to steal 3rd place in the district with a little help from Rockdale and an upset win over Yo. The Yeomen are heading to the playoffs for a 10th straight season. They're good, and it's hard to trick them even with a well-designed play. Zachorian Spikes came down with a nice interception. He had a great return on that play, but it would not lead to points for Yo. The next time Lago Vista had the ball, quarterback Buck Pounds decided he would put the Vikings in scoring position with his legs. The 35-yard keeper set up another quarterback run. This time it was the zone reads that Pounds put into the end zone. Lago Vista led 14-6 then. Oh, but they have given up the lead late in that game. Lago Vista is down by 10. Yo is up 45-35 in the fourth. Out east in Elgin, the Wildcats hosted an Eastview team that on paper should have won this game easily. There's a reason these games aren't played on paper, though. Elgin's Trey Easom was everywhere. Trey, have yourself a day. Easom's back-to-back touchdowns put the Wildcats up 35-6 before halftime. Elgin went on to win this one 56-19. More scores for you here. Eastside Memorial blanked against Llano, 49-zip the final, and it looks like Hallettsville gets the win here, 47-7 is the final in that one. Let's see what the next board has for us. Hamilton is on top of Florence, 63-21, and Johnson City wins over Blanco, 31-14. In 5A District 11, Hutto locked up the number 2 seed going into the postseason. The Hippos took on a Rouse team that would step on the field for the final time tonight. Just off the field, well, we saw some very excited Hutto Junior cheerleaders. They were happy to be at the game, and Longhorn fans, you guys should be just as excited because earlier this week, your team picked up a commitment from that guy, wide receiver Dejon Harrison. He flashed that hook 'em sign after putting the Hippos up 14-zip. Then the defense stepped up. Tyler Kelly's pressure led to Sadavian Robinson's one-handed interception. The Hippos were in the regular season with a 34-15 win, and they are on to the playoffs. Down in District 12 4A Division 1, Smithville traveled to Caldwell. Tigers running back Christian Adkins took the early handoff. He found some daylight and found a first down, but that drive would stall. Then second quarter, Tigers were backed up near their own end zone. The swing pass to Adkins did not go as expected. There was just no room to work with, so he was tackled for a safety. That play was bad news for Smithville, but as you can see now, the score isn't. The Tigers take it 21-2. Guys, Friday nights are about more than just the teams, the scores, and the highlights. They're also about the bands. Check out this week's Band of the Week. Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. As we showed you earlier in the show, the guys at Weiss had an opportunity to complete their quest from worst to first with a storybook ending, an outright district title. We showed you the score and the unfortunate ending for the Wolves, but our Emily Giangreco was there on the sidelines for all the action. Emily joins us now from Pflugerville with more on the Wolves showdown against Brenham. Hey, Emily.
Hey, Jeff. Yeah, you were really hoping that this would have been a Cinderella story for Weiss, but the good thing is they still made it into the playoffs. So they have a lot more football to play, even though they didn't get the win tonight. Let's show you the video, though, from the second half. It's funny because you went into halftime, both teams are tied 7-7, and then you come into the second half, and it's like, who are these teams? Because they're completely different from what we saw originally. The final score ends up being 38-21. Brenham does get it, and I had a chance to talk with both of the coaches after the game, just talking about this matchup for the title, and here's what both of them had to say.
Hats off to Brenham. That's a really good football team over there, and we knew that coming in. We had our work cut out for us, but we're proud as heck of our guys. 8-2, co-champs in our mind. Getting ready for the playoffs next week. We think we got a lot of football left in us, so really proud of what we put together this year, and real excited on getting rolling next week.
I do have to ask you, with this being the two top teams in the district, Weiss coming off of an 0-10 season to now coming here and playing you guys for the district title. What have you seen from them and their program developing over the few years?
I can't be more impressed with their coaching staff. To take a team where they were last year, I know they were just juniors, but to develop the confidence, the discipline play, hats off to them. They're going to be doing great things in the future. And
lastly, I know we talked earlier about the seniors, but what do you just have to say again about them and what they did this season?
Oh, their leadership is amazing. They've really, they've taken over the program. It's become player driven, and when you have that, you win football games. So they've laid a great foundation for the future, and they're not done yet.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And I do want to give, a congratulations to the seniors. I know they didn't get the district title, but you guys still accomplished so much. I saw a few of them emotional after this game. So big congrats to them. Even if they didn't get the win tonight, they have accomplished so much in such a short time. But I'm going to send it back to you in the studio, Jeff.
Thanks, Emily. You're handing out congrats, and I want to hand out another Friday Football Fever t-shirt. I'm going to ask my friend Jake Garcia to come on. I hung this shirt up today, Jake. I figured we can get a different vantage point.
You're throwing me all out of whack.
There we go. All right. So we have that picture. I'm going to post that on my Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jeff Jones Sports. All you need to do is comment on that picture and be sure to follow me on that social media platform to enter for a chance to win that shirt. We'll see you again right after this break. Welcome back to Friday Football Fever. Now is when I bring in my friend Jake Garcia. And Jake, you got to see a few cool displays tonight before this Bowie game. First, here's something that the Bulldogs have done for 16 seasons now. They found a game to wear these WP stickers to honor Coach Wade Pittsburgh, who passed away 16 years ago tragically in a car accident. In addition to honoring the coaches of the past, Bowie also honored some of the players of the present.
It was senior night tonight for the Bulldogs, and for quarterback Trinidad Sanders, it was especially emotional. His season was ended prematurely each of the past 3 years because of a torn ACL. Tonight, his final time stepping foot on a high school field.
Tears coming out my eyes. This is how it's gone by so fast. I remember I was in 8th grade watching my brother, or 9th grade watching my brother get his name called. I was right next to him, and it was, I don't know, emotional.
That's the kind of guy he is, you know, and I said, hey, look, for what you've done for this program and what you've gone through, we'll do everything but let you play, because the doctors won't let you do that, but if they would let him, he would be out there.
Head coach Jeff Abels told me he had to take Trinidad's helmet from him before the game to make sure he didn't sneak in. The Bulldogs could have used a healthy Sanders tonight going up against powerhouse Westlake. First quarter, Zane Miners, we call his name every week, plunging in for the touchdown run. And moments later, same position, different guy, getting the red zone look. It's Gray Knack for this time from a yard out. Chaps go up 14 on their first 2 drives. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right back to the ground. His last name is Minor, but his impact is oh so major. Yes. Westlake cruises 63-0, but Bowie, by virtue of Anderson losing to Lake Travis, punches a ticket to the playoffs. 3A District 10, 2 teams looking to head in a different direction. This the kickoff that starts the second half, and eventually going to start a dance party in the back of the end zone for Gerald Derek Warren Jr. There was a kickoff return to open the second half of that Brenham-Weiss game. How often do you see 2 in the same night? And speaking of 2 in the same night, Warren Jr. is at it again. Innocent-looking swing pass turns into a 62-yard house call. Gerald ends the season on a high note, 60-14, Cougars over the Titans.
Big night for that young man, huh?
Sure was. He had 2 explosive plays.
Very nice. Thanks, Jake. Well, as much as I love the highlights, the scores, and the stats, I've made no secret that our Mom of the Week segment is probably my favorite part of the show. It's a way that we honor some of the biggest high school football fans around. The moms of the players, the band members, and the cheerleaders. This week, our award made the trip to Eastview.
You're the KVUE Mom of the Week, and I just want to say thank you for supporting me and everything I do. I love you.
Love you too, bud.
Norma Smith works full-time from home and attends every football game for her son Cole. She's at every Booster Club meeting, every fundraiser. She works the concession stand and decorates players' lockers before every game day. Norma says it's just part of her job, and she always feels great after not just taking care of her son, but looking out for the entire team.
More than just being a mom to your own child, it's being a mom for the entire program, looking out, making sure that things are getting done and that nothing falls through. It's selfish actually, because it makes you feel good to do this. You don't keep score, you don't keep track of how many times you've been up here. You just do it because you enjoy it. I've always said I don't have money to give, but I have my time and my effort.
Love that message. If you know a Mom of the Week, feel free to reach out to me about her. And if you know a student who gets it done on the field or court and in the classroom, he or she could be a great candidate for our Scholar Athlete of the Month award. Our friends at Lorenz & Lorenz are helping us recognize some amazing student athletes with this award and with a $1,000 college scholarship. If you'd like to nominate an exceptional student, you can do it at KVUE.com/Scholar Athlete of the Month. We'll be right back after this. Every week during the high school football season, we see some amazing plays on the field. Jake and I put our minds together and picked 3 of our favorite plays to show again as our Big Save of the Week nominees. Let's start off with a play from Hutto, and I'm going to give a shout out to multiple players on this one. Sadavian Robinson came down with that incredible one-handed interception, but you know he was thanking the big man Tyler Kelly for getting that pressure up the middle. Kelly and Robinson teamed up for a turnover that just makes you say, wow.
For play number 2, we like to have a theme of 2. This, how half number 2 opened up. Derek Warren Jr., 90 yards on the kickoff return. And pop quiz, Jeff.
I'm ready.
How many touchdowns of 60-plus yards did Derek have in this one?
Not just one, right?
Not just one. This is play 2, so we had 2.
2.
Gerald, big win tonight over Manor New Tech.
All right, we're going with another defensive play for our 3rd nominee. How about my man Sincere Turner showing us how you're supposed to cover that curl to flat zone. The best part of this play is that it's not over right when he gets the pick. It doesn't end until there is a party in the end zone. Now that you guys have seen the nominees, it's time for you to let us know which play is your favorite. You do that by going to my Twitter page at Jeff Jones Sports. When you're there, you'll see the poll that I recently created with those 3 plays. You'll vote, we'll add them up, and reveal the winner on Tuesday during the 6 p.m. show. And guys, don't forget to check out our Friday football replay tomorrow morning right here on KVUE. For Jake and Emily, I'm Jeff. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.